Hey Brittany and Lauren, I just watched your video on escapism and I wanted to comment because I am the least most right-wing person that there is, but I found myself very excited uh, in your insights and to learn from you. To give you a bit of context of who I am, I'm an Aboriginal person in Canada. I'm 60 years old. I've spent 40 years trying to define Aboriginal rights and so forth. And one of my regrets at 60, looking back at all of this work that we've done in the Native community for the last 40 years, is we moved from a very simple battle in the 1970s about having equality with everybody else in the Canadian system. We've moved through that to say it's not the people that are bad in anything, it's the system themselves. And colonialism has created white people victims as well, because all of us are victims of any system that puts power in the hands of a few at the exclusion of everybody else. Towards my new thinking, which is really worried about young people. I'm seeing a lot of young Aboriginal activists who are very dogmatic, who have got into the politics of identity and say to be an Aboriginal person, you need to be A, B, C, D, and E. And if you're not all of those, or if you digress from those, then you're somehow not really Native. And then it gets worse. Now we're seeing a lot of young Aboriginal activists say, with militant identity politics, where they say, not only if you disagree with us, we're going to shut you down. And there goes freedom of speech, there goes freedom of ideas, there goes the exchange, and so forth. And so I thought your video was wonderful. I thought like you articulated so well what's been going on in my head. Like, I have been working 40 years to empower our people, but in empowering our people, I never meant to disempower others. So when you said young people, and I can't understand this right and all right movement stuff, but you explained it to me very well, and I thank you for that. And that is the reason young people are not are going towards right-wing thinking, not conservative, but right-wing thinking, is because they have a sense of hopelessness, and that they have a sense of hopelessness, and they're trying to restore something. Immediately my social warrior friends are going to say, yeah, they're trying to restore their privilege. And I'm taking philosophy at my old age, and I really question that assumption on the part of right-wing people. I don't like labels. I don't like calling people right-wing, left-wing, whatever. I like people with ideas, and I take ideas objectively, and I don't shut my mind down to them because they come from a certain source. I've been really struggling with how Germans feel, as an example, and the extreme steps they've taken to erase the memory of Nazi Germany. And Nazi Germany did a lot of good things. I mean, I think the Autobahn, the fact that they created state holidays for average working people, I think that's something we ought to be looking at in Canada. Stuff like that. So no human person or no human structure is totally bad or totally good. And what we need to do is to kind of separate the craziness of a superior race concept, Aryanism. So because I'm Native and Scottish, I might be part Aryan. I don't know. I mean, who cares? We've got to understand history on its own merit. And so I was really happy when you talked about the lack of hope that my generation has probably left your generation. And I think that not only what you're talking about is important, I think that there has to be more intergenerational discussion, because in my day we had a lot of hope in the 1970s, 1980s. We had a lot of hope. We were trying, my social warrior brothers and sisters were trying to um, balance historical wrongs. And that's all we're trying to do. But yet, even within the left wing or liberal movement, there are these extremes, as there are alt-right extremes too. I tend to see myself as in the middle. So, being in the middle, I'm listening. I thought you guys did a wonderful job. I don't know who that man was in the middle of the interview, but I've seen some of his videos, and he's a very objective person. So I just wanted to share with you, as a native Indian, native Canadian, Aboriginal Canadian, or whatever you want to, whatever our label is this year. I want to commend you on the clarity in which you dealt with your issues, with your not your issues, your topic, your subject, and how you left it open for discussion. And I think that's really important. And I think to a great degree, you're showing some leadership there. So I'm going to leave it at that because I'm yapping now. But thank you for your video, Escapism by Laura and, I'm sorry, Laura and who? Britanny. Laura and Britanny, sorry. Thank you guys. Thank you ladies very much.